What is up there, fantasy enthusiasts? It's me, your man, MG Marcas Grant, joined by Matt Okada, who you know as our resident nerd from the NFL Fantasy Football Show, and it is draft season. So we're talking about rookies, but we are talking historical rookies, the top 5 rookie fantasy seasons of all time. We're going to count it down from 5 to 1. So Matt, start us off. Who has the 5th best fantasy rookie season ever?
Number 5 is a name maybe the younger fans aren't familiar with. It's Billy Sims in 1980 with the Lions, the original number 20 running back for that team. 339 fantasy points. First rookie in NFL history with 1,500 plus scrimmage yards and 15 plus touchdowns. Had an incredible start to his career before, unfortunately, knee injury knocked him out of the NFL, but a blazing rookie.
Guy who had an absolute great college career, a great NFL career, and yeah, it's easy for maybe younger Lions fans to see number 20 and think about Barry Sanders. All right, so that's number 5. Who is at number 4?
Number 4 is another running back. It's Colts running back Edgerrin James in 1999. Colts hit big on 2 draft picks in a row. Peyton Manning the year before, Edgerrin James this year, and he returned value real quick. 370 fantasy points, over 1,500 rushing yards, over 2,100 scrimmage yards, second most by a rookie ever in NFL history, to another guy on our list that's going to come up in a second. Absolutely insane. Ended up being a Hall of Fame running back, one of the best of the 2000s. Edgerrin James was a beast.
Fun fact, I won a fantasy league that year by having Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning, and Marvin Harrison all on one fantasy squad.
That's a winner.
That's pretty much all you needed. That's about all you needed that year. All right, that gets us to number 3. Who is that?
Number 3 is a quarterback, the only one on this list, actually. It's Cam Newton, very recently, back in 2011, 370 fantasy points. Topped 4,000 passing yards and 700 rushing yards. The only player in history to do that, redefined what a dual threat quarterback was, and set the record with 14 rushing touchdowns, most by a QB ever. Not just as a rookie, in any year. He did it as a rookie. Unbelievable stuff from Cam Newton out of Auburn that year.
And all these years later, Cam's still getting it done with his legs. Wasn't a great passing year for him in 2020, but 12 rushing touchdowns. So Cam's still finding a way to be productive even as he gets later into his career. All right, number 2, who lands in that second spot?
Number 2, a guy that probably all of our fans wish they had on their fantasy team. It's Saquon Barkley in 2018, coming in out of Penn State, 385.8 fantasy points. He was a second pick in the NFL draft. He was the first pick in any kind of dynasty rookie draft. And he was a first round pick in standard leagues as a rookie, which tells you how good we knew he was going to be. And he was. 91 catches. 91! Most by a rookie running back in NFL history. Also added a ton of value on the ground with over 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley was and still is a beast. I hope we get to see him come back to RB1 status after the injury this year.
There are some players where you don't have to be a scouting genius to watch them and realize they're going to be productive. Saquon was one of those guys. As soon as you saw him at Penn State, you could immediately tell, you know what, this guy's going to be good at the NFL level. And I'm with you. Hopefully he stays healthy and come back and can be productive for fantasy and for the New York Giants as well. All right, that gets us to the top of the list. Who had the number 1 fantasy rookie season of all time?
We got another Hall of Famer. We got arguably one of the greatest running backs of all time. It is Eric Dickerson back in 1983. 392.2 fantasy points on the back of 1,800 rushing yards and 18 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot. The rushing yards were the most by a rookie in NFL history. We talked earlier about the scrimmage yards. He was number 1 in rookie history. Absolutely unbelievable rookie campaign. May not ever be touched again. And by the way, it didn't stop there. He started his career with 7 straight seasons of 1,200 rushing yards, including one where he was traded in the middle of the season. So Eric Dickerson was a monster, and his rookie year kicked it off real nice.
Hall of Fame performance. Hall of Fame look, too, with the goggles and the Jerry curl as well.
Stylish.
And still, all these years later, still an LA sports icon and just a football icon as well. Eric Dickerson with an outstanding career. So there you go. Those are the top 5 fantasy rookie seasons of all time. For more fantasy-related goodness, be sure to check us out on the NFL Fantasy Football Show. You can find it at NFL.com/podcasts or anywhere that you are downloading fine podcasts. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you soon.